Alright, so this is, might have sounded so weird right there. This is 10/15/25. I just got back from school. Go over my thoughts and the trades I took today. I really wish I didn't have to make these later on in the day because I feel like by the time I get back, I'm not really in that trading mindset, and, I kind of forget everything that I did. Everything I really do is kind of like in the moment and like intuition and like, I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, I ended up taking trades on the practice that weren't the same as my combine on here. So I'm actually going to talk about this one right here. So let's do this one first. Took 2 losses on the combine today at market open. Really sad. Made a couple mistakes and I realized what I made. I ended up making it back off of this trade right here. But let's go over it. So we had Asia high and previous day high right there. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, ES had already taken it out. So I assumed that we were going to manipulate down with this. Like we were just going to change. The way we were up here, like changing, just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. There was a 15-minute up here that we were sitting in and respecting that. So this 15-minute rejection block, and then we had another 15-minute right here that we were bounced off of, and then we came back, came down to that. So I saw that, and I actually ended up taking a good entry on this. I just ended up getting stopped out. So I basically did the first presented right here at 987 to the tick. So right there, I ended up entering on this candle, and we were floating down. We were in profit a bunch. We ended up coming back, and I'm pretty sure I was already at break even. Or no, maybe I wasn't. I don't know. I can't remember where I had my stop loss. What does that say? 8350. Okay, so I had my stop loss at 8350. Why did I have my stop loss down here? Okay, so apparently I went break even and did that. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like I come home from school and like I just can't like explain exactly what I did. Like if I was in the moment, but yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay. It's a really weird mistake. I don't know why I went break even. I guess it's because we took out some stuff over here. But anyways, I ended up doing that. It was like a break-even trade, and then I ended up, I literally saw like at least 30 people lose on these trades right here. We had, let me get rid of this for now so I could see. Alright, we originally had this 1 minute inverse right here. That didn't work. And then we had this other 1 minute inverse. This one looked clean. That one didn't work. And then we finally had this one right here. But guess what? I didn't take that because after 2 losses, I don't really want to take anything anymore. So, a huge mistake I also noticed about is something I implement into my trading and that I've used pretty much every single day is this London leg right here. So, something I didn't realize is, I didn't have this bottom one right here marked out. It was only this top one. So these are 2 separate things that are marked out. They're not the same thing. I ended up seeing beforehand, pre-market, okay, we hit this negative 1.5 and we reacted off of it. So why not assume that we're just going to go to the next 1.5? And that's something I've been telling myself for like the past week and a couple of days now. Like, okay, if the London leg, if it hits full range, it's pretty likely that it's going to go back to full range on the other side. Or if it hits one level on one side and reacts, it's highly likely that it's going to go to the same level on the opposite side. And this has happened multiple times. A lot. Knock on wood. But that was kind of corny. But anyways, I didn't have this marked out, and I finally did mark it out, and I saw this, and I was like, damn, that would have been really good. We ended up, where that 1.5 was, there ended up being a 15-minute that was untapped right here. And then there was also another entry too. There was this 5-minute that was untapped as well, and that ended up being the entry. There's also a 5-minute BPR right here, so that would have been pretty good. Also like a small volume imbalance right there, but so that would have been pretty good. Stacking those together. Going on to this. Okay, we hit the 1.5. Now I want to see. Okay, I want to see previous day high, and I want to see full range. I want to see what we do at full range. So I ended up waiting until then. It's like 10:30. I gotta leave for school at like 10:35 or 10:40. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not taking anything. I ended up seeing this right before leaving. I took this on a practice. Well, I took a bunch on the practice. I ended up entering off of. Well, actually, let me explain this first. So once we hit this level, the first thing I wanted to see was a sweep of liquidity. Now, we did make this high, and after hitting this, and we didn't make another low, but we did have an SMT right here, so I'm just counting that as a low. So then we come back up, and we sweep this liquidity right here perfectly, and we actually, this whole 5-minute rejection block actually holds us the entire time, and I'm not sure if this was a rejection block or not. I just marked it out just because, and I actually ended up entering off of it. So I thought I entered off the 50%, but apparently I entered like a tick down below. So that entry was right there, and I had my stops above like this, and I was targeting this all the way down here. There's a bug in my room. So let's go over what happened. What happened was we were chopping for way too long. So if we go over to the 1 minute, we'll see that I ended up going break even. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because we didn't even sweep out like any of this. Maybe I went break even after this right here, and after seeing this 1 minute candle. But I mean, we ended up just coming back up to this and taking it out right here, and then going right back down. So originally, if I didn't move my stops to break even, I would have been up a lot of freaking points. Usually on the practice, unlike the combine, I don't just target something. I usually go big or go home. And I'll just trail. So that would have been a really good trade. I hate saying would have. The next one, the trade I took on my combine, took it on the practice too. Well, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I entered right here on the practice. What was this off of? Oh, the 2 minute. Okay. So this was a better entry. I forgot about this. I was so locked in. Okay. So something that I've been doing a lot is stacked confluences. So like the highest time frame we have right here is the 2 minute, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. So those are the only three I want to be looking at. Jesus Christ. Fucking bug, bro. So we ended up having this really clean 2 minute inverse, and we were inside this 15-minute gap right here, and we ended up respecting this 5-minute gap right here. So I wanted to see that keep getting respected, and then I finally saw this really nice 5-minute rejection candle. So I marked that out, used that. I'm like, okay, this obviously was just a deep retracement because ES had taken out London, and we ended up sweeping this. So I only wanted to see that as kind of like a deep retracement. I didn't want to see us reverse all the way back up to here. Like that just wouldn't really make any sense. It just doesn't even look right. Like, you could just look at a chart and just think like, okay, like there's no way price is gonna fucking do that. So it was just one of those. 2 minute, end up inversing this, and then we ended up coming back into this and tapping back into it. But we did leave an untapped 2 minute right here. So I went down the lower time frame, and I saw same thing happen here. 1 minute, tap back into the BPR, and I kind of just saw like, okay, well, I want to see this high get taken, because if we go on the 30-second, we could see that this was technically a kind of a swing high. So we had this low, and then it came back, and we had this little separate section, a little low, and then a high. So I was like, okay, well, if it does, I want to see this get taken out. So I ended up placing my thing right here. I think that's the right one. 96650. So 96650 was where I just placed it at the 50%. Okay. And I probably had my stops like up here or something, or maybe somewhere, I don't know. And yeah, I ended up taking that practice trade all the way down to this full range right here. These were my full take profits. On the combine, if we go back to this, I saw that we had this low resistance right here. We ended up taking that out. We made this high, and we made this low, and then we made a lower high, and then we ended up taking out this low. So I was like, okay, you know, if we don't end up coming back up here, and we end up showing some displacement down, I want to see shorts down to, you know, the rest of this, and to prove my point that this was just a retracement. So we actually had these BPRs over here that I was kind of worried about. But I wasn't too worried. Okay, no, I remember. So we had this 2 minute down, and I told myself, I was like, okay, well, if this 2 minute inverses back up, I don't want to take this, even if we might just go up a little bit and come right back down. But we ended up getting this candle right here, and then this candle right here, and then on the next candle, on the 1 minute, I ended up seeing this 1 minute rejection block inside of this, after we already inversed this 1 minute right here. And I could have entered off the BPR, but I liked the rejection block instead. So I entered right off the wick of that, and had my stop right above here, 10-point stop. And I targeted, my first TP was right here at this low. I just did like 3 contracts off. And then my full take profit was down here at this negative 4.5, and I trailed my stops pretty much all the way through. I was down 1,100, and so that trade got me 1,000, what is that? 1,900, right? 1,000, or no, it was 1,100. Okay, so yeah, it was 1,900. Yeah, should be right. I don't know. I could probably just check, but yeah, those were the trades for that. And then excuse me, I ended up taking another practice trade in class. I saw this really clean 1 minute. I told myself I really don't want to see price go below this anymore, and we were already close to the 0.5 of this entire range that happened. So what I mean by that is this entire range right here, from here to here. I saw, okay, obviously this 0.5 right here, we were already in a discount. But if we go from like right here to right here, we'll have that 0.5 lining up right here, and we actually ended up not hitting it. But if you go down to the time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, well, it's actually just the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute. The 0.5 of the range ended up being right below all of these untapped gaps. So I saw that in class, and I was kind of like, okay, well, I don't think it's going to hit the 0.5, because there's nothing really for it to hit that 0.5. You know, like we had this 5 minute, but we had this right here, and we ended up just reacting off of that. So I saw that inside the 4 hour, and I mean, we ended up filling the entire 4 hour. It was very small, just in this candle right here, just this 5 minute candle. And then we got a reaction off of that, My first initial thought was to go off of this 5-minute rejection block, and then the 15-minute that was made later on for like another entry, but I ended up just taking this, just saying fuck it. So we had this really clean 1 minute. It was the only leg, or only gap right here in this leg, and I ended up just entering on a practice, and by practice I mean just placing this blue thing right here, the long position. Now you could believe me or you cannot believe me whether I place it there right as it happened, but maybe I'll just believe myself. I don't know. But yeah, that happened, and then I ended up targeting this 15-minute up here that lined up with this 30-minute. So yeah, that was today. I feel like it was pretty good. I don't really have any thoughts as of right now. I wish I was more in the moment like this morning, but key mistakes, just kind of patiently wait. I need to be waiting for the things that I already know. I know what I need to be doing, but I'm not doing them. I feel like I'm just getting too greedy, or fear that I'm gonna miss out on a move, you know, and have to wait a whole nother day just to be able to do it again. But yeah, that was today. I feel like today was pretty good. I ended up making the money back. If it was XFA, I don't think I would have somewhat revenge traded like that. I was really confident in the setup, but like I said, if it was XFA, I don't think I would do something like that, especially after losing twice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 10/15/2025. Those are my thoughts. Those are the trades. Hopefully I learned something from this.